Welcome to Meaningfulness, Engineering Purpose in a Complex World podcast series. I'm Djeff B., Principal Architect at Meaningfulness Media Group, where we build rigorous frameworks to uncover objective meaning through authentic connection, ethical systems thinking, and responsible stewardship in an age of AI and informational chaos. If you're seeking evidence-based insights on philosophy, psychology, and human flourishing, you're in the right place. Let's begin.
Have you ever just stopped and wondered, what actually makes people happy? It's a question that we've been asking ourselves for, forever. In this explainer, we're not just going to talk about happiness, we're going to take it apart piece by piece to really understand its building blocks, and hopefully discover how you can actively build more of it in your own life.
So, let's just kick things off with a pretty big idea. What if happiness isn't some destination you have to find on a map? What if it's not a treasure you're hunting for? What if it's actually a skill, something you can practice and get better at, just like learning an instrument? That's the core idea we're going to be digging into today.
Okay, so if happiness is a skill, where in the world do we start? Well, the first step is to get a handle on what we're even talking about. It's time to go way beyond the buzzwords and the cliches and really break down what happiness is actually made of.
Right. Here's the most important thing to get your head around. Happiness isn't just one thing. It's not a single ingredient. It's more like a complex recipe, A rich blend of three really distinct emotional states, and each one plays a totally crucial role in the final dish.
First up, you've got emotional contentment. Think of this as the foundation, right? The stable bedrock of your happiness. Now, this doesn't mean you never feel bad, not at all. It's more about having this deep sense of emotional balance. That quiet background feeling that, things are fundamentally okay.
Then, on top of that bedrock, you have joy. If contentment is the steady ground beneath your feet, joy is those exhilarating mountain peaks. These are those amazing, intense, but often short-lived moments. That burst of laughter with a friend, the thrill of finally figuring something out, they're the vibrant, colorful highlights of our life. And finally, there's well-being. This is the glue. It's the holistic, all-encompassing thing that holds everything else together. We're talking about the big picture here, your physical health, your mental clarity, your ability to bounce back, because honestly, without that strong, supportive glue, both contentment and joy are a whole lot harder to keep around.
This little chart kind of pulls it all together perfectly. You can see how they each have a different job, right? Contentment is that steady, enduring bedrock. Joy gives you those amazing, exhilarating peaks. And well-being is the ongoing work that glues the whole thing together. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are the real, distinct ingredients of a fulfilled life.
So now that we've kind of figured out the what of happiness, let's dive into the how. What are the actual pillars that hold this whole structure up? Let's take a look at the psychological architecture of a genuinely happy life.
Well, when you look at the research, it pretty consistently points to three main pillars. First up, purposefulness. This is about having a sense of direction, a why that gets you out of bed in the morning. Then there's resilience. This is that mental muscle that helps you bounce back when things get tough. It's a skill you build. And number three, probably the most important of all, social connections. We're talking deep, real relationships. It's all about quality over quantity, All right, this is where things get really interesting. We tend to use the phrases a happy life and a meaningful life almost interchangeably, don't we? But are they actually the same thing? Or could they be two totally different paths that just happen to cross sometimes?
As you can see here, they're kind of focused on different things. Happiness is often about feeling good right now. In a way, it's about what you can get. A meaningful life, though, that's different. It pulls together your past, present, and future into one big story. It's usually about giving, about contributing to something bigger than yourself. A meaningful life isn't always a happy one, and a happy one isn't always meaningful. But man, when those two overlap, that's where the magic really happens.
So why does all this matter? Why should we bother digging into this stuff? Well, because your happiness, your well-being, it's not just about you. It creates this powerful ripple effect that starts with you and expands outward, touching your family, your community, and even the entire world.
On a personal level, really understanding this is like getting a superpower. It makes you so much more self-aware. It lets you take charge of your own mental health. It becomes a catalyst for real, genuine personal growth, and it helps you make better choices, prioritizing what actually leads to lasting fulfillment instead of just chasing fleeting pleasures.
Okay, now let's zoom out a little. What happens in a society where more and more people are actively working on their well-being? Well, it just becomes a more harmonious place to live. People who understand that link between meaning and contributing to others, they're more likely to act ethically, to get involved in their communities. This collective mindset can even start to shape more compassionate and effective public policy.
And that ripple, it doesn't stop there. Think about it on a global scale. A worldwide conversation that's focused on well-being, not just on economic growth, could fundamentally change how countries interact. It could lead to better international relations, a deeper appreciation for other cultures, and the shared goal of just lifting up our whole human experience together. As we start to wrap things up, this simple but incredibly profound quote from the Dalai Lama really brings it home. The search for happiness is, well, it's kind of the whole point. But as we've seen, it's not some passive search. It's an active, skillful journey of building contentment, embracing joy, and nurturing that all-important well-being.
So here's the big takeaway from all of this. Happiness isn't some lottery ticket you might win. It is a skill you can build day by day. By understanding its parts, purpose, resilience, and connection, you really do have the power to shape your own well-being. So the real question is, now that you know this, what are you going to prioritize on your journey?
That's all for this episode. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If these ideas resonate, continue your journey toward objective meaning and authentic connection at meaningfulness.com.au, where you'll find materials and resources to engineer purpose in your life. Until next time, let's build something meaningful.